Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Okiki podcast. And today I am so excited to have Jayde Vincent on my podcast. And one thing I really liked about her is that we are kind of on opposite spectrums. So I found you on LinkedIn. For those of you who don't know, she's like a massive TikTok star, and that is the complete opposite of the type of platforms that I use. So I was just curious about you and what you do, and I just want to say thank you for coming onto the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So can you tell us about your background? What was kind of in your interest that led you to, social media and TikTok?
So I had just moved from the UK to Canada. So pretty big move. I'm
Yeah.
in a completely different country. I had no friends here at this time because I moved during the summer, so I wasn't in school.
Hmm.
So I was really bored, looked in the house with my family all the time, and as you can imagine, drove me insane. Um, my sister, my younger sister, she was obsessed with Musical.ly because that's what it was back then. And when it turned into TikTok, it's all I saw on my Instagram because everybody was like doing all these memes on it and stuff, and it just looked like a lot of fun. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna download TikTok just to watch some videos and entertain myself because I'm bored. So I would just watch for like a month, and
Hmm.
then I finally decided to post my first video in January. And then once I used to just post like stupid like comedic videos, and they would never really do good, but I didn't care because it's for my own entertainment until I posted a video of me dancing on the app and it blew up in March. Um,
Your dance video blew up.
mhm.
Interesting.
Because I'm really passionate about dancing. Dancing is something I've always done. I've always loved it, and people like to see you do something that you're passionate about on TikTok. So that's how I got big on TikTok.
I have done some research on you, of course, because you wrote this lovely profile on LinkedIn, and it talks about, yeah, how you have a dance background. I can relate to that because I also love dancing, so that's really cool. Um, but it also said that you have a pretty big following on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So did this all happen at the same time, or was it kind of like one platform after another? And is it similar kind of content even?
So I blew up on TikTok fast, and then I started pushing my Instagram a little bit. I don't push it like too much, but
Mm-hmm.
like I pushed it a little bit at the beginning when I started to like blow up a bit on TikTok. And then I never had a YouTube until some people, like some of my followers, were like, "Hey Jay, like we really like to see you do like a YouTube channel." So then I started that, and it started to grow when I started posting like dance tutorials for my TikToks.
And what style of dance do you like to do on your TikToks?
So I do like hip hop. I do a little bit of shuffling.
Awesome.
I might start introducing some of the other styles that I do, like my tutting and all that stuff.
That's so cool because I also love hip hop. So that's great. Awesome. Well, I will have to check those out for sure. so, so like you said, you kind of got into this space more for your own entertainment, just have fun, kind of I guess, a form of social connection, might I say, like from in moving into a new country. And then for you, when you blew up, is that when you started to say, oh, maybe I could really have a falling out of this? Or um, was it kind of a shock and you didn't know what to do with it at first? Like, what was that process from going from I just use this app to like, oh, I'm in influencer mode now?
When I first blew up, I did kind of panic a little bit because I've never had anything like that happen to me before.
Hmm.
And I've always wanted to be like an influencer. I've always wanted to be like known on social media and stuff because it's something that I don't know. It's just like I've always wanted to do because with dancing, it's like my passion, and I've always wanted to show that off. So when I blew up, I was really excited, but I was nervous because I didn't know how to like manage it. I
Hmm.
didn't quite know how to like work with it, you know. So my parents, they've been a huge role in this, and they've really helped me,
Hmm.
kind of guide me in the right direction. And that's how I ended up on LinkedIn because of my stepdad. Um, so
Ah.
yeah, my parents, they really helped kind of guide me to do something good with this.
You have 1 million followers. So what was kind of the period of time between that one video that blew up and then for you to get to 1 million? Like, how long did that actually take? Because I don't know if TikTok world is the same as like some of these other platforms in terms of growth and periods of time.
So my I started to blow up around March.
Okay, okay. And then so did it go to like 1 million straight away, or was it like a couple months into that kind of
It was
thing?
like a couple months into that. It started off like me just getting a couple like thousand a day. Like the first time like I blew up, I gained like 200,000 in like 2 days.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy.
It just like ended up going like in chunks. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so for you then, when you became this TikTok star all of a sudden, um, was it like immediately, like did you immediately have brands reach out to you, or did do they even monetize people on TikTok? Like what kind of changed in terms of your experience of the platform?
So they didn't like brands didn't start reaching out straight away. It was kind of like because back when I first blew up, TikTok was kind of still fresh, and brands and businesses weren't really on there until like quite recently.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have anybody really reaching out to me until I hit at least like 400,000 followers,
Mm-hmm.
um, or something like that. But TikTok doesn't monetize, no, they don't monetize their videos. So the money that I make from TikTok is through the live streams or through brand deals.
Ah, so they do live.
Yeah,
They,
you can go live on TikTok.
what initiatives then did you have to take, or did you begin to take, I guess, to really establish your brand when you started noticing, okay, I have a lot of influence here?
So my stepdad, he came and spoke to me, and he was like, "Okay, so TikTok is just like the beginning. So it's gonna like this is what's gonna like set me off like for my future. Like so he said that I should hop onto LinkedIn to
Mhm.
basically push myself to be great on there as well.
Mhm.
So he helps me on there. He helps me get a lot of brand deals on there as well for TikTok. Um, I'm starting to like build up my YouTube too, so I'm like I have a background like a backup platform as well, just in case anything goes wrong on TikTok.
For
So
sure.
I'm basically just building myself up on as many platforms as I can, just so
Cool.
that I can be here if something goes wrong with TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. And like you were saying before, your stepdad helped you kind of get on LinkedIn for that side of things because, excuse me, I'm assuming most of the people who actually give you brand deals would be on there, like whereas your consumers are on TikTok. Um, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. And so in the process of you joining LinkedIn, yeah, like when did you join LinkedIn and were you able to like get brand deals right away with that?
Um, I didn't get brand deals straight away.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't been on LinkedIn like for too long. It hasn't been a long time at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm still learning about it too. It's pretty confusing sometimes because obviously I'm still young. So
Yeah.
like sometimes like my stepdad will come in and he'll help me like figure things out. But I haven't had like too many brand deals, but like from LinkedIn. But like it's definitely helping.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because LinkedIn's almost like the granddad of the social media platforms. In terms of like, it's like they're still trying to catch up to the API of like everyone else. So that's one of the reasons I noticed you because I was like, what in the world is this TikToker doing on this platform? Like, I hope she could navigate it and figure it out because it's a very different space. And yeah, kind of just out of curiosity too, like, how do you find, yeah, how do you find like what are the pros and cons you feel or what are the differences I should say between like TikTok where you feel like you're really dominating and like Instagram, YouTube, and now LinkedIn? Like what do you like about those other platforms that you can't do on TikTok and what don't you like about it?
So with TikTok is 100% like my favorite app because like you're free to be yourself.
Yeah.
It's a very authentic app. Um, and whereas like Instagram is like this picture perfect world, everybody, it's just a huge lie. But like just to like hide things and stuff like and YouTube, it's a great app like to learn about the person like better. So like I like my YouTube because like on TikTok my creators see me do my talent, and then on YouTube they actually learn about me as a person and they kind of see what I do in my everyday life and stuff. Um, and LinkedIn, I really like that because like it's helped me so much. Like it's helped me get my name out there. It's helped me reach out to people that I never thought I would ever be able to reach out to. So I really like that as well. But yeah, TikTok is 100% my favorite.
So interesting. So interesting. And I was gonna say, what has been then your biggest obstacle as now an influencer, and how did you overcome it?
I think that my biggest obstacle was obviously like my age and like because like I'm still pretty young. I still have so much to learn.
Mm.
Um, so I struggled a bit with it at like, the beginning because I had no idea what I was doing. Back then, my parents, they weren't really like that familiar with the app. They kind of like knew what it was, but like they weren't really like on with it until they hopped on the app themselves, kind of learned about it. So
Yeah.
the way that I overcome it was like get my parents to like come and help me because like if I didn't have my parents, I would probably not be this big.
Mm. Yeah. And so, do you mind me asking, do they have a background in marketing or business, or are they just kind of very intuitive about these kind of things, would you say?
My stepdad is, yeah.
Cool, cool. That's awesome. That's really great to have. And how has being an influencer impacted you personally?
Oh my goodness, it's impacted me in such an amazing way. I used to be so shy, quiet. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I mean, I still do spend a lot of time in bed, but like, I would never leave my bedroom, like, ever. And now that I'm like a creator, I feel like I've really started to push myself to be better because I see myself as like a role model. Kids see me as a role model. I've always got kids telling me that they look up to me, so I'm constantly pushing myself to be the best version of myself as I possibly can, and I'm so much more confident now. Like, um, I couldn't talk to people in public, and now I'm out dancing in the streets, making videos in front of people, and I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing a video. Like, what's up? So
Cool, cool.
it's definitely like improved the way that I see myself and see the world.
So it's almost like you're like an introvert with very like extroverted qualities, because dancing and performing is a very kind of extroverted thing to do. But that's so cool that you're able to like walk out of that. And I was gonna say too, like, yeah, you've kind of talked about what changes like you've seen in your growth. Um, so like I guess who do you think you are today moving forward in comparison to like when you started, and like how do you think that's going to impact your decisions moving forward with the platforms you're leading in?
So, before I started all of this, I was really like immature and I never thought about anything and I just do things like straight off the bat, like whatever, like this thing just pops into my head, I'm gonna go do it. But now I really think things through so that like I don't like mess up or do anything bad or like get myself into trouble now because I have got a reputation and I have got these kids that are following me because like my following is like really young. So they kind of like influencers have got such a huge impact on kids these days. So like
Mhm.
if I'm out doing something that's bad, kids will see that and they'll be like, oh well Jade does it, so
Wow.
it's definitely had me thinking a lot more, and I'm really looking out for what I do now.
And I know you talked about your parents being involved in your life. Um, as well as them, do you have any like mentors that you feel like you've had to kind of now incorporate in your life to help you with that process?
Um, yeah, kind of. I do talk to like some people. Mainly, I mainly just like talk to my like other creative friends about things. We kind of like help each other out and stuff.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask too because I know YouTubers like I love watching YouTube, so I know there's so many like clusters of these YouTube content creators. So is there something like that for TikTok? Like, do you guys actually like meet up, or do you like just chat and like get each other's contacts, or do you guys collab the same way like YouTubers would?
Yeah, see, we all find each other on TikTok. We find each other like we'll follow each other and stuff, and then once we start to like feel confident with each other, like we'll like create group chats, and then we'll like kind of talk on that. But there are like we all go to like VidCon and playlists, and we all meet up and collaborate. But like we also collaborate on TikTok too. Like we'll like do fun things like that as well.
I was gonna say, what are your future plans in terms of like, obviously you might have some secrets, but for what you can tell the audience, where do you see yourself, like a year from now or 5 years from now in light of what you're doing?
In the future, I definitely see myself as being like the young female Gary V.
Ah, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, he really inspires me. So I wanna basically be the younger TikTok version of him.
Nice.
Yeah.
I find that hilarious because he's literally everywhere. I didn't know about him until I was on LinkedIn. So I find it so interesting that he's as influential to people on LinkedIn as he is on TikTok, as you're saying. Yeah, so and then my last question for you is what do you value the most about being a TikToker and social media influencer?
I value my supporters the most because they have done so much for me, like an incredible amount for me. Like because of them, like supporting me, I have so many more opportunities in life. So those ones are definitely the ones that I value the most because um, they've just done so much, and I always try to do anything that I possibly can to like give back. Like I meet up with them sometimes. I'll reply to their messages. Like obviously I can't reply to all of them, but like sometimes just a message or like a reply back is just so much for them. So I'm always trying to give back to them because they've helped me through so much. They've made me a better person.
Jade, thank you so much for being willing to do this interview and sharing your story. And like you said, I believe you're just getting started. So I'm really excited to have caught you before things get really crazy. So thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.